with another episode of Chicago Blueprint. I got one of the great gentlemen from over east, legendary Mr. Wesley King. Mr. Wesley King, um, tell the audience just a little bit about yourself, just for the introduction.
Um, my name is Wesley King, known as Wes on the street. I grew up over on the east side, come up as a juvenile delinquent, gang life, went to prison. From those experiences, when I got out, I choose to use my experience from my mishaps, things of that nature, to share with other people. That's pretty much it. It's just
Sweet. You were once involved with the Vice Lords. How do you describe your journey from that life to what you are doing now?
I became a vice lord when I was 12.
What year was that?
That was 1983. So when I became a vice lord, purpose for me becoming a vice lord, because I have always been interested in the gangster lifestyle, the gang life since I was 5, 6, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I understood what it meant to be in a group, the power of numbers or what have you.
Mm-hmm. Strength in numbers.
Yeah, things of that nature. Just the whole camaraderie. I just dig the whole gangster thing. Like, yeah, I like that. You know what I'm saying? But when I became a vice lord, I was doing it. Yeah, I enjoyed the gangster lifestyle, the criminal aspect. I enjoy all that. But that wasn't what later on in life, once I started understanding what Vice Lord was about, that ain't what Vice Lord is about.
Exactly.
My mindset changed when I became educated about what Vice Lord is about. Vice Lord is not a gang.
It's not a gang.
No, sir.
What is it?
Vice Lord is a way of life. It's a fraternity of brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
I can dig it. Why is it important now you speak publicly about your past and what you've been through, your journey?
Me and one of the homies was having a conversation the other day, and we was talking about, well, I was saying how I've been looking for me. So I could live vicariously through the youth for what I probably could have did if someone educated me on some things. And one of the things being like, I realized, as far as, this is my opinion, when it comes to strength, as far as an army to fight for our people, these are the guys that you need, not that you want. Like when I was a shorty, I wasn't a, how should I say? I was more of an influencer than being influenced. That make any sense? This is what I wanted to do.
I know
You know what I
exactly what
mean?
you
So I
mean.
wouldn't run like oh, I'm monkey see, monkey do. In a sense, yeah, I emulated somebody, but I was into this. I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed fighting the whole strategy of it, you know. But then when I got incarcerated and I started learning about history and racism and things of that nature, and those things been taught in Vice Lord as well, I was like, man, Joe, instead of me gang banging with some GDs, I could have been getting at them oppression. You know what I mean? I could have, if I'm going to put my life and freedom on the line, have it for a cause. Because I really didn't know what happened back in the slavery days, and you know what I mean? Because I come around my people, those things wasn't exposed to me. But when it got exposed to me, how our people was treated, you know? So I know for a fact, if the right person got in my ear, the kind of courage and craziness I had in some of the homies' head to really stand up for something and take pride in it, You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's one of the reasons I do. I catch the right ear and show them different ways. Like for real, I wasn't like out there just to be a delinquent, just to be doing something. I wanted some bread. And I found out the way how to do it. And that was from taking and stealing. And I wasn't messed up about it.
Mm-hmm. For sure. How we all kind of grew up in these streets. Growing up in Chicago. Tell a little bit about that.
Growing up in Chicago.
Growing up in Chicago, East Side, 67.
I
know you was all over.
Yeah, I'm pretty much like I'm East Side crazy because East Side raised me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, I was one of the few, as far as that South Shore area, that can go about just wherever I wanted to. I mess with everybody. I mess with GDs. I mess with the MCs, the Stones, on Thin by Rolling. Like, even though I was a vice lord, I could say about like 75%. Even though I got down on some guys, yeah, I wasn't cool with all of them, but the ones that I was cool with quite a lot of them. I had quite a lot of big homies. So what I'm getting at, I had been watched all my life. Like when I used to go to my grandmother's house and some of the cats right on 69th be drinking by the tree. Them some of the cats that grew up with my mama.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like I originally come up from the pocket. So that whole culture of the South Shore, like somebody know me or know somebody. You know what I mean? So that's the atmosphere it was growing up over there. Even though what's crazy, some of the ones that we was fighting, some of us used to be friends at one time before we chose to get in a different game.
And the
That's
right.
That's the advantage I had.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even though like I come up in a red and white. That's a Black Gangster Society building. As a shorty, I moved to the mall, became a vice lord. So some of my homies became GDs, but we still was like, remember us being friends.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So at times, like me and Ace, me and Ace like brothers. Everybody know me and Ace ain't finna fight each other. So it been times like it been them and it been us, and it been a standoff. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So Chicago period. Man, every set love they side of the city. The West Side crazy,
Yeah.
the Hundreds crazy, about the Hundreds, the low end, over East, even like we identify ourselves separate from the South Side.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We from over East. Keep it like, no, Joe, I'm from over East. It's four parts of this city, stay to the lake. So when someone say over East, soon as you say you from over East, I identify with you. If you stay from over East, you say you from out South, I don't identify with you.
You in the hundreds.
Right. If you actually live on 71st, East End, 75th, and Kingston, in the little areas, the South Shore area, and you say you from out South, I don't identify with you.
Exactly.
Cause we from over East.
We from over East.
Just like, you know what I'm saying? And you can tell in a sense, cats where they from. Like the West Side is different from the East Side.
Most
The
definitely.
North Side is different from the East Side. So that's the whole thing about Chicago, but we all got Chicago pride.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm. The Hundreds is different from the
And that's
East
another
Side.
thing that connect us. Because of the organization. See, back in the days, Joe, on VL, if I see another vice lord, Joe, I don't have, just upon meeting you, because this means I come in peace, and I feel like, what's up, so where you from? Now we kicking it. You know what I mean? Same thing with a GD or Stone. You meet another brother, you like, where you from? Now we going to your parties. You know what I'm saying? I should go to the Hole. I done been to, over there on, I was messing with the Titanics over there on St. Anthony Coles and 83rd. I was messing with some of the Latin Kings out in Lathrop, up north, meaning I'm around meeting the brothers because it's a culture. You feel me? So you from Chicago, there's certain things that you identify with, that you understand the lingo and the culture of the city,
Exactly.
in my opinion.
I think you kind of touched on it, but I'll ask, what was your environment like as a kid?
It was fun. especially come from out east. Like I come from a loving family. Even though single parent home, I was well provided for. Like a lot of things that I did, it was my choice. But the environment, it wasn't. I often say it wasn't as violent as far as the killing. But my environment, Joe, man, you get tested. Come, you know what I mean? Like as a short before the gang life it was about neighborhoods and schools.
Mm-hmm.
Like I originally went to Fermi. Fermi didn't get along with Parkside. And then I went to Bremont. Bremont didn't get along with O'Keefe. If you go towards O'Keefe area across the tracks, somebody might try to bully you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of me coming up, and my mother taught me that you have to be tough.
Yeah.
Either you're gonna be tough or you're going to get
ran over.
You're gonna get ran over. So that was part of the environment, but it wasn't to the point where it's how it is now.
It's not as deadly as it is.
Right,
today.
it wasn't that deadly. I'm talking about you might get about 1 or 2 or 3 murders and we were shocked. Like,
Right.
man, buddy got killed like that summer.
A
But
year.
not 4 or 5 people in a week.
in one
You
night.
know what I mean? In one day.
Yeah.
It didn't go down like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
and that's another thing, right? We already know each other. And now that we older, all us kick it and seeing each other at the clubs that used to fight or what have you. And the same, that's the advantage why I feel that the younger generation has that we didn't have. Because we hear that. We're here for them. And when many people here for us, and I believe the reason why is because we're the first generation of the kids that started this. If that make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because, blacks just migrated up here.
From the South.
In the South in the 40s or the 50s. They started moving to these neighborhoods
Mm-hmm.
in the 50s and 60s. So we like their kids, even though someone went to prison or whatever. So now we got generations of knowledge and wisdom and experience to pass down.
Mm-hmm.
Like my pops, not my biological father, but my pops. He told me, okay, take knowledge with you.
Violence at a young age. You were shot at 14 years old. What happened and how did that affect you mentally?
Back in like between 84 and 85, I used to hang out with the GDs heavy. I had met this kid named Lil Man, may rest in peace, and that became my best friend. Me and Shorty just locked on some homie stuff. Then I met Lil Brand, then I met Doogie, and I was just meeting I used to hang on East End, I was just meeting all these other Shorty GDs, and we became like buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the guys used to be like, why I'm hanging with them. And for real, because I hung with them because they treat me better than the guys. I go where I'm celebrated. You know what I mean? So
Not what I'm tolerating.
exactly. So this particular day, I remember they were telling me to stop hanging out on East End. But like, this is like I was saying, I was one of I don't say few, like the only one. Like if I'm on 71st, run all them GDs, and someone called me folks, I'm like, I ain't folks, I'm a vice lord. You might be from another set. If you say something to me, one of the folks be like, fall off me. You know what I mean? Not asking them, but like, get up off me. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Only vice lord in all in their parties. All the girls like me, whether they're attracted to me or they friends of my sister, whatever. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So all the parties, going to different sets with them. I was like, I wasn't them, but I was one of them.
Exactly.
Cause I always made it known. So we be kicking it with folks. I'm like, I ain't folk, I'm a vice lord. My head might be to the left. This particular day, me and the homie, we hanging out. We on Merle. We was talking about some chick. Anyway, we ended up getting on East End because we been drinking beers all that day. So my homie Lil Man, he get into an argument with this cat named May. So I tell May that he drunk. Like fall up off of him. So he tell me to start the folks' business. Me and him had a few words. I fall back on the gate. He tell this other GD like that I was a hook. Same dude he told I was a hook. He an older dude. Me and him and Lil Man, I was getting high in the hallway earlier that day. So he came and grabbed me by my shirt. At the time, my hand was in a sling. I had broke my hand hitting this kid in his face.
Mm-hmm.
So I was already in a sling. So I'm trying to get Buddy hand off me and shit, right? He like, you a hook, nigga, you a hook. I'm like, what's a hook? A disciple? So I'm a vice lord. I said, I'm from the mall. He said, you'll die for your nation? I said, yeah, I die for my nation. I ain't afraid to die. And he shot me, bow.
Oh, wow.
14 times?
Huh?
He shot you 14 times, right there?
Hell no. He shot me. He shot me once, but the bullet pierced through my intestine. I still be having problems with my stomach because of that.
Mm.
Yeah, he shot me. I was 14. He's about like 20, 21.
So
he's a grown man.
It's
Right.
always the old
But
niggas.
I know it might sound kind of twisted. I never told anybody, but I wanted my lick back. I never got a chance to. I wanted to kill him, but I admired that. I thought that was so gangster. And in a sense, he showed me the game. And what I mean by that, it's like, Joe, if I show, I blow. I don't give a fuck about accident. You gonna feel this, John. I don't care how old you is. I don't care if you a female. I don't care if you a shorty. I don't care if it's your mama. Because, I mean, at my mindset, what it did to me, I wanted my lick back, but I knew like I had to get him, and I couldn't err it because if I fuck up, he gonna be on my line because I was a shorty.
Right.
So I used to practice. Like, one time I come through O'Keefe. Like O'Keefe, got the field house. Usually I can say this because I know I didn't hit nobody. But I come through O'Keefe around 7, around the Clyde entrance behind the school. It's dark. It's when they had the basketball courts up. So they playing basketball up. I had a revolver, pull the helmet back, I bust it. I shoot at the basketball court. I don't know who's playing on the basketball. Like I said, I'm cool with some of them. I don't know who was on the basketball court. I don't know if they was folks. I don't know if it was Neutron. I was just thirsty to get me a body. I didn't even care. I let the first one off. Boom! Everybody stopped. I guess they was like, I hit again. Boom! Everybody started running. So I started aiming at the little entrance when you run out.
Mm-hmm.
Because at nighttime, so you can see the bullets going. But I didn't hit nobody. But another time, it's me, Hakeem, Boogaloo, and Curtis. We on 73rd and Yates. We smoking. And Boogaloo GD. We drinking white port. So these couple guys come walk across the street, had a radio. You know, the little boom box. So I look at Curtis, so I break off. I like, if I take this thing, it's mine. But if you have me take this thing, you gotta chop it up. So what I used to do, like, say if I snatch your shit, you chase me, I run to the alley, and I stop him, like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So I run up on Buddy. I looked at him. He had his hat to the right. I said, so you go to South Shore? He like, yeah, I steal him. Bang! Then when he backed up, he like, it's all right, I'll be back. And the reason I stole him, I like, he looked familiar, but you don't be all up in school with your hat to the right. So he said, I'll be back. I took that as a threat. I stayed on Oglesby. I ran up in the crib. I got dressed. I stayed on 73rd and Oglesby. I got dressed. I come out. I tell Hakeem and Kurt like, man, Joe, meet you on 75th. I gotta do something for my old girl. So I'm walking off in the fine short. I'm staying them, right? So they following me and stuff. I'm like, man, Joe, what's up, Joe? I said, man, Joe, I gotta handle something. So when I look up, Buddy on the other side of the street. We on 73rd and Cranton. I'm on one corner, he on the next. The reason I'm telling them, like, I'm finna stain dude. I don't need y'all with me, you know what I mean? So Buddy like a rug. He said, what's up now? I up all the time. He don't even know. I pulled the trigger. He said, you ain't gonna shoot. When I'm pulling the trigger, it won't go. I got a full clip of one in the chamber. You're like, you ain't gonna shoot. I don't know why he said that, right? It reminded me like well, Buddy shot me. You know what I'm saying? I jacked that jump. His eye got big. Oh, wow! He tried to get behind Book. I'm on him like this. I mean, I was so fixated on getting him I wasn't even paying attention that he was standing next to Boogaloo. I'm like, wow, got getting around. I'm chasing around the car. And I looked him dead in his face like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, wow. And I chased him all down crying and shooting at him. I was just so excited. But what really thrilled me, Joe, like I said, I never told nobody this. I had went up to the school and I went into the class and my father was like, man, like, the police looking for me or something. So I leave school. I'm up at the parks. So some little homies like, man, so them boys in front of the school, they come get me from some aid assistance, right? So when I come around the old building on 77, I think that's Benton or Euclid. I had this pull over, what's the name? I used to have like knives and I got an ice pick on me or something, right? So I come between the cars. I had my hand in the thing, so they was like, I'm talking about literally, buddy body was shaking. And they was like scared to death. And like, they must think I got a pistol on me. And I remember just like how I felt. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that affected me. You know what I'm saying? Because like at the end of the day, all that tough stuff, when your life is in front of your eyes and your face, sometimes it'd be a different story. So that affected me in the sense that I understood the power of fear. I believe it's a process. I mean, like, when I was a kid, the adults be like, as if their life was so better than ours, how things were so different. One thing I can relate to, how my mother used to tell me what a nickel or a quarter can buy everything. Now I can say what $1 used to do, because this shit is ridiculous. I bought a Snicker, cost $2 or something. A Snicker, Joe?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they went through their demo. I went through mine. They got to go through theirs. You got some that's ready, some trying to get there, and some don't want to get there. Like when I was like, I think back how I'm more suggestive. My approach is scare, educate. I did scare straight demo from when I was short. I remember it was me and Steve, we got caught up on something, so we had to go to one of them programs. And we met some other vice lords, so all of us were sitting together. And Buddy get to telling his penitentiary story or whatever. He said something about how hungry he was, that he was busy, he couldn't walk. So I get to laughing, right? So the mind get all in my face talking greasy, like I'm a lame or something, Joe. I think I was like 14. I was so heated. I know in my life, Joe, if I see that mug, he came around the lane, even though I'm a shorty, if I got down on him, everybody in the neighborhood would get down on him. Meaning that didn't work for me. Only thing he did was piss me off, embarrassing me, talking about like what somebody do to me when I was in a jump. You know what I'm saying? Maybe for one of them mugs, Joe, I might be the booty bandit. I might be the one just raping and taking people's stuff. You know what I'm saying? Well, I gotta be the punk. Well, I gotta be the chump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's the reality of it. Because I come up as a shorty through the juvenile system and all that. And the same ones I see in the juvenile system, sent them in the county, sent them in the prison. I'm already plugged through the door. As soon as I come through the door, somebody know Wes. What's up, Wes? You know what I mean? I ain't one of them cats just got off the porch and accidentally do something he don't know nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm decent with these bad boys. I'm fighting from the short. So, I mean, in a sense, Joe, I feel as though the East Side prepared me for that. Like, for real. At first, I was just like, you know, I guess a bit apprehensive. Then at times, I'm like, man, y'all slow.
That definitely, when you get in prison, though, you feel like, man, this ain't for me, man. It's for individuals who ain't on the same mindset.
Especially you see so many goofies in there, so you be like, because you'll see a homie, somebody you look up to go to the jump, and you might think it's a bunch of players that end up getting caught up. No. 85% of them lame goofies. You was like, God, end up in jail with all these lamers.
You make you start feeling stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what got me right. Like, I'm in the wrong. Joe, when you always the smartest person in the room, Joe, you in the wrong room.
Wrong room.
Exactly. It was definitely an eye opener for me as well. So I ain't never been back. What is the reality of juvenile detention that most people don't see?
Okay, I'm gonna say my opinion, right? Now, the reason I was so daring, or people might say wild or crazy, because as a juvenile, I felt as though I had to get out of jail
Free
car
card.
free. And I actually thought if I kind of knew I was going to end up getting caught. I had murder on my mind, period. Me and my buddy, we was on that. So if I wouldn't have got popped off, even though it wasn't my murder, I definitely going to knock somebody down back. And I was like, if I did it, I got caught, I'd probably do till I'm 21. Now I should be like, I got 4 or 5 years. I know it's messed up, right? But that was my mentality. Because like, if I get popped like Joe,
You say you got 45 years and you
4 or 5 years.
Oh, 4 or 5 years.
I'm 15 and 16.
So you're gonna get charged as a juvenile.
It's a juvenile, but that's not the truth. Because you can get life as a juvenile.
Exactly.
I was in it with somebody 14 that got life.
Right.
I was 14. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I was thinking. But when I was juvenile, before I caught that murder, I had been in Idaho for about like what? True bill, about like 6 times. True bill. I had one of my cousin's friends. He stole a brand new Volvo off the car lot. I take the keys from him, Joe. Like, Joe, let me drive, Joe. You know what I'm saying? All the time we know I drive. So everybody get a car with me, I crash in front of South Shore. People just get at us. And not long story short, I go to the Audi home. And when I go in front of the judge, my brother there, my old girl, I had whooped the school teacher before. My old girl had left me in she didn't sign me out. So my brother there, he gonna try to get me out. And then my family had a friend that works there. So he come in the courtroom. So he like, you know, my family, yeah. I'm like, this cool, right? So the judge is like, we need somebody at least 21 or older to sign him out. So one of the homies' mom was there. I'm like, that's my auntie. This layman was like, I know his whole family, and I don't know her. I look at the Vic like, damn, Vic, you supposed to be helping me get out. I'm a shorty, right? I'm like, man, that's my auntie on my father's side. And he was like, I know his family real well. I know his mother won't let somebody out. And I just snapped. I'm like, man, you need to mind your motherfucking business, Joe. My brother like, man, fuck that shit. She ain't for leave me in this motherfucker. This in front of the judge, right? I promise I ain't making this up. They had literally carried me out. I was so motherfucking mad, right? He went out east, got my mother and begged her to come sign me out. So I get out. They give me some probation. About like 2 or 3 months later, I catch the murder. Now the point I'm getting at, this is like my 5th or 6th time been to ID home. I done been there for beating a school teacher, stole a motorcycle, all of this type of stuff. And I just snapped in front of the judge, Joe, you don't send me the same child, so you don't lock me up. They supposed to been lock my little ass up.
Right.
I catch a bite like 2 months later. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So basically what I'm getting at, as far as how the juvenile system, I knew that this is what I was told, and this is true. When I turned 17, it's like heaven. You know how you repent to Jesus? You did all this stuff, and he's like, I repent. Right. I turn my life over to you. I ain't killed many people, and now I'm clean, stay clean. Right. That's the same thing as a juvenile. That my juvenile record is sealed. But when you catch me up, I go to ID home. This is how I go. You go to the police station, they talk to youth officer, I get signed out. Before my mother used to sign out, my sister just get me out. So I used to go back and forth to the police station before the ID home. So it's just like I can do what I want to do with any repercussions.
Right.
Does that make any sense?
Exactly.
So what you consider? Do you consider vice lord a gang?
I mean, growing up, I considered all the, nations that we grew up under as gangs, but you shining a different light on it.
Okay, because I'm vice lord. I ain't leave vice lord. I still associate with the brotherhood of vice lord. Now, what I did leave alone was the criminals.
The
Now,
criminal
why I left
activity.
the criminals alone is because I don't like prison, Joe. I did not volunteer. I did not agree to go there. I was like for real. I was forced. Every second that I was in prison, I don't care if I did do some of them things. I was forced to be there. And the things that I was doing wasn't working. Now, as far as it's not a game. That's what straightened me out, right? I apply love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So if I project love, truth, freedom, and justice, that's what I attract. So the principles and that the law's device, like this is the oath I gave. This is the vice lord oath. At the ending, say, name Almighty Vice Lord, our Lord West, Father, swear. Never design our most sacred weapon, meaning Lord unity. Knowing the threat of death, why deny those who stand beside me. As representative of Almighty Vice Lord, I will listen to the fruitful teachings of my elite so I'll be useful to my community and my family and my nation as a whole.
Exactly. No, I'm listening to you. I said exactly.
So let the Almighty Allah God bear witness to this oath throughout the house court. I come as I am as I come. It says I could be useful to my community. It don't say so I can go out there and rob and sell drugs to my community.
Most definitely.
So I still represent that. I represent my community. That's vice lord.
Right.
See, that's the reason why I'm on here and I'm talking about this how vice lord move, because those the teachings, that's what it tells us, the righteous. You know what I mean? When we open up in our prayer, we open up with the Fatiha.
Mm-hmm.
We're asking God for guidance.
Yeah.
We're not asking God for guidance to kill, to rape, to rob.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't asking for none of that.
No.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of cats that's actually vice lords, won't say they vice lords, or GD. Won't say that because they're afraid they might lose their job or they might be looked upon as one of them criminals.
As a criminal.
And I'm not knocking someone for when I say criminal. That's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I be so purposeful, intent when I say that. Like, man, I ain't on that, Joe. But I'm not knocking you because you got to find your way. You find your way. This might still be your way.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was my way up until 40-something. And I was like, dang, I got them in me. That's a fact. It wasn't because of ethics or morals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I got them a bit in me. For real. You know what I'm saying? So, like vice lord, Joe. Like some of the guys, man. They ain't my friends, my brothers.
Right.
If right now, Joe, I can make a call, somebody gonna come and get the kid. If I need something, I got a community of vice lords all over this country. You know what I mean? I go certain places, people like, you know what I'm saying? They're my brothers. If I need something, not just somebody to help out on some fighting stuff,
Mm-hmm.
financial, somebody to lean on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of cats out here want that brotherhood. You know what I mean? Not just want it, need that brotherhood.
Just someone that you can call on too, just to talk to and all that type of stuff too, right?
Talk to. What just before I got on here, so I come from an area of Finbar rolling, right? So the brothers asked me if any availabilities come up, things like that. That's what you call being plugged.
Mm.
That's what Vice will do for you, Joe. If I come through trying to get a gig, Joe, you want the guys, bro. If I'm eligible, not just because I'm VL. If I'm eligible, Joe, I'm moving the land. Like for real, I don't. We're playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'm giving someone, I'm giving the youth, they know what's up, giving them options. My pillow on the land, like on the land, so trying to get your GED, your high school diploma, trying to get a gig. Then you got the one like, man, Joe, what you do is, right, once it starts forming, turn to liquid, then you take the ice cubes, Joe, and you hit that. Bah! But you gotta jump to my man, so the timing gotta be right, because you will lose if you don't hit it like right. Bah! You got that cat, Then you got me like, man, so I got you, Joe. Pop, I'm on your mind, take you to gigs, Joe, help you with your resume, blah, blah, blah. You got different options. You know what I mean? See, vice lord mean master of my vices, master of my habits. Meaning you master of self. You make those choices and decisions, but there's consequences behind the choices and decisions you make.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean? See, this is what they ain't gonna teach in school. See, that got me started. See, within our flag, we have what you call the circle. The circle represents 360 degrees of knowledge that we are the majority, colored people are the majority worldwide. The fire around the circle represents Rome, the oppressor trying to keep that knowledge from us. The darkness inside the circle represents that we once ruled. Now, the knowledge represents we once ruled the world. The darkness in the circle represents we are the majority, that we are not a minority. So these are the things that they're not going to teach you in the school. All our symbols teach us about where we come from. We got 2 crescent moons. One moon represents us over here in the west, and the other moon represents where we came from. They ain't going to teach you that in school.
Right.
So vice lord is not a gang.
It's more of a fraternity.
A brotherhood.
Yeah. Brotherhood.
A way of life.
That's how I like to refer to them now.
Absolutely.
Let's transition a little bit. Let's talk about your books.
Okay.
You've written three books.
Mm-hmm.
What inspired you to start writing?
I like to write. I started learning how to write poetry. I used to do it for a hobby. I started let my homie Bobby check it out, and he was like saying I was good with the poems and all that. Then my homie D Mike, he wrote a book, and he said I'm good at storytelling, like what I just been doing with half you. So D Mike pushed me to write the book. I had started writing this book called Circumstances, but I ended up going back to the junk. And I had to put it on the shelf. Memoirs of a Convict. Memoirs of a Convict.
No, that's right. You're supposed to.
Right.
Put it up there. Let me see it.
Put it up there so the camera can see.
Yeah. Memoirs of a Convict.
Okay.
But it's an easy write for me. You know what I mean? And it was because it's about my life, and also like with the questions you asking me, I wrote it transparent. You know what I mean? I ain't always the hero. I talk about my ups and downs, like the clown shit, whatever I did, however it goes, because it's a learning experience. And from that experience, I feel as though I know someone can get some knowledge out of this.
Some fat on their brain.
And also, it put me in a situation where it's, I can make money, I can provide myself, be entrepreneur. You know what I mean? So instead of me just having my hand out, I got something to present to someone as a trade. You know what I mean? So this is another thing. This is one of my poem books.
Love and Pain.
Love and Pain. And this book is a thought-provoking book with poems as well as encouraging words.
What's that? My thoughts,
my
rhymes, and my reasons.
It's a compilation of thoughts, provoking, encouraging, motivational, inspiring words of wisdom and healing expressed simplistically. So, I'm into like for real. I get a kick out of motivating people, Joe. Or just, inspiring them. And,
I like that you like to do that right now, because when you was a shorty, you weren't trying to motivate nothing.
Huh?
I said when you was a shorty, you weren't trying to motivate
I did
nothing.
motivate y'all. I mean, a lot of people.
I said I like it where you at now in your life. But when you tell the stories when you was a shorty, you trying to fan something down, stab something, beat something up. You was like, you got a little rush out of that.
Yeah, I did too.
But it's good that you mellowed out and now you're on the right path and really trying to help, the communities and people with their mental and all that. I like that.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I was so much. It is what it is. So I can't clean it up.
I mean, it's your story.
It's your story.
We
yeah.
can't
it's
have
progression.
we all went through the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I'm sitting back here listening to your story. Like, I used to go through some of this same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen though. I was trying to explain to one of my dark skinned brothers, right? And they was like, why are you light skinned brothers so fiery?
Mm-hmm.
Like, kind of like, I don't have no in between. I'm either 0 or 100.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And he like, why y'all like that? They somewhat have a milder, diffusion. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like us as being light skinned, and especially good looking, you know what I'm saying, coming from good homes or whatever. They used to just try you just because. You know what I'm saying? Just because you was decent looking and the chicks liked you. Don't have no money. You know what I'm saying? So it was always, you know what I'm saying, some hater in the group that you gonna have to show like, man, I ain't one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put you where you belong. You know what I'm saying? And they like, man, I don't think. I'm like, man, I'm telling you. So what was it like that for you growing up, being a light-skinned, good-looking individual, and you know what I'm saying?
With your little color, colored eyes too.
Not really. I guess my mother. This one, my homie. I used to think that, right? I think some people used to try me, but for the most part, I don't know, it's because of my energy, or you can see it in my eyes that I ain't going. I don't know.
I mean, once you get to a certain plateau and they recognize, like, oh,
yeah, you had that certain aura about yourself.
Dude, not to be played with.
My buddy, because like I honestly think everywhere I go, I be thinking like, and I do that on purpose. Honestly, I do it on purpose, but I am humble because I want you to underestimate me. You know what I mean? It's a strategy to fight. You know what I mean? See, the only fair fights is in the ring when you get paid to lose. So my mother instilled in me as a short. I guess she might feel as though I might come across these problems because of my physical features or what have you. But she showed me a few moves, and she told me, if everybody heard it before, if you can't beat with your hands, find something, pick them up and hit them with, right?
Yeah.
But everybody don't got the heart to do that.
You
know what I'm talking about? Because I had cats bigger than me. You know what I'm talking about? You better lose on purpose, bust your demo. Not no like, you sit there and see me with this brick coming, and just like Buddy, you ain't gonna shoot. I've been throwing bricks, bottles, all that. You know what I mean? So, and then like I say, it's like, ain't so much I enjoy. Like, I'm decent. I come up slap boxing. Man, this boxing is 90% mental.
Yeah.
This takes skills to trick a kid. Like, okay, next time he do that, I got you. Or I fake hard here to get you to move that. And I stain you, Joe. I got all different kinds of moves.
Yeah.
You feel me? That is strategy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the thrill. But what you're saying is, I remember one of the homies, he said it to me. He said I look crazy. Cause he asked me that, something what you asked me, cause I was thinking that, you know what I mean? Like, it's I be sitting like, I wish that mom would put it on me. I'm gonna take this thing and bust him dead in his junk. That's what I'm saying in my head though. And I used to think like, I don't like in jails and all that. Man, I wasn't getting no, I wasn't having that experience. Right now, I'm a victim's advocate. So basically what my job is, I work in the South Shore, South Chicago, South Dearborn community. So a person's a victim of gun violence, of a shooting or homicide. I connect in resources like financial assistance, food pantries. Some places offer free clothing. Any resources that can perhaps assist them when they're going through, grieving process, things of that nature.
That's good.
Or like, because the state, they offer what you call, like you have a job work compensation, and because of your womb, I help you assist in the plan for that. But prior to me being a victim advocate, I was once an outreach worker. And when I was an outreach worker, my job entitled me, I had about 15 participants in my job, which considered high-risk individuals. And I assist them with making transition with their life. Making them aware of the things, the consequences, and the troubles that they can face because of my own personal experience. So it's easy for me to, you know, from how you say, been there, done that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's best, how they say, people listen more to someone that experienced something than someone just telling them. I did the outreach, and I also did I was a violence interrupter, and that's another thing. A lot of guys that's working this particular field, because of their affiliation with the street organizations, that give them the license to operate. You ain't finna come Chicago, bro. You ain't finna come
Ain't
on
anybody come in these
You ain't finna do that.
Right.
That ain't happening. So like the moment, like I said, Vincent, right? I'm on here talking about I'm trying to get people to stop the violence and all that, but then I denounce vice lord. And I know what kind of person I was when I was a shorty. I'm looking at you. I look at this now as an adult. You gave up.
Mm-hmm.
I look at every cat that you made a transition in your life. You got off drugs. You working. You doing well. And you talking about you ain't GD no more. I ain't Vice Lord no more. I ain't Blackstone no more. That's what you supposed to yell it louder. Get them guys something to, man, that's one of the most riding the bus. That's you know what I'm saying? That's one of the principles. It's a Vice Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Showing like, man, so this the way, because the literature telling, that's what the literature did. When I went to join the show, the big homies was pulling me like, I remember when the teacher did it to me, not to get off track. I was supposed to be in school. I go on the yard to cut school. And he said, man, he's like, you supposed to be in class. I'm like, yeah, because one of the guys had brought some hooch out there on the yard. Hot as hell. Nice day outside, too. He's like, man, you can hang out here every day. But you're going to have to carry a knife and be on security. Like, shit, you got me fucked up. So I knew to stay in school to keep me out of trouble. Just ain't thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Teach me about racism and all that.
Mm-hmm.
About the literature. I was the minister of literature. I should teach the literature. So I know this demonstration. You know what I mean? Our pyramid represents 3 aspects of man. So I know the good in all these things. So that's why I feel as though, like, man, so you got celebrities, pastors, teachers, you got all type of people that have affiliation. You ain't from Chicago, Joe, if you do not have a street organization affiliation. It's impossible. If you have a family grew up in Chicago and you got a cousin, an auntie, somebody in your family plug, you ain't from Chicago. It's impossible. It's impossible for you to have a family and they have no type of affiliation. So the point that I'm getting at, that's part of our culture. Because they don't talk about the reason that, vice laws was formulated in a juvenile detention center. But the other ones was formulated because they moved into these European Caucasian neighborhoods. They had what you call greaser gangs. Like the Happy Days, they had like, with the leather jacket and all that, they used to smash black folk going to the store by themselves and going to school.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a gang up to go. I done been at the table with the big homies, the older ones, seeing how it used to go down. They was baseball teams. Blackstone Raiders before they came to Rangers. You had the Kimball Killers. They was soft baseball, whatever, before they went to that demonstration. You know what I mean? But those things they ain't talk about. So they look at us and they I think the word vilify, make us look bad, but everybody else did it. The Irish did it. Mayor Daley was the gang, the hamburger gang, before they took over the police thing. The Italians did it. But soon we started making moves on our own business and getting into politics, then they changed the rules.
They don't never want us to be organized.
Exactly. But who else gonna stand up? When the last time since the GDs came downtown with what was it, 500 men marched downtown? When has it happened since? Black men. When?
Mm-hmm. I can't recall.
When have it?
Not in my lifetime.
50. 500? Bro, when that happened, they started snatching cats out the jump. They turned Pontiac into a Seg. They started changing things. Yeah, consider selling drugs and all that. What? 21st century vote? Oh, we gotta change that. See, this stuff that people ain't talking about.
Mm.
They ain't talking about Eugene Sawyer King, Larry Hoover, all the politicians came to Larry Hoover's parole board before he got indicted.
Mm.
Eugene Sawyer used to be the acting mayor after Harold Washington.
After Harold Washington.
So you got the acting mayor coming to a gang leader's parole hearing saying y'all need to let this man out.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. So what you do when somebody like that, you put him in the ADX where he don't have no contact with the outside world. Was he really that bad? So I know cats. I'm just speaking about him because I know cats. So I know cats that started off. I know this individual, him and his wife, GD. They kids, all of them got college degrees. They got college degrees. I know other cats got businesses. Come from under that guidance. You know what I mean? You got vice lords got business. Come from under the guidance of the minister. These are individual choices, so you know what I mean? And I believe in this. I believed in this. At 14. See, these are facts. Because when I got shot in the stomach, it was all them G's on the block when I told Buddy, no, I ain't afraid to die for this. I believe in this, so I still believe in this. I'm a vice lord.
Vice lord?
Yeah.
But it's kind of more than just a vice lord, like, because you're
You
doing
actually,
but you're doing other things for the kids and everything.
For Bob's legacy,
yeah.
Nah. I don't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for real, I'm not really into, how should I put it? No, I ain't really looking for nothing but to play my part, right?
Right.
Speaking from my own perspective of my being, life don't mean nothing without a purpose. So I make this my purpose. Because if I don't have no purpose, then what's the purpose?
Okay. You want to tell the people where they can find you at on social media?
Oh, you can find me on Facebook, Wesley King, Instagram, What's Up Joe. I think TikTok is, I think I post no money. On TikTok, I think it's Wesley King too, or some that demo.
Y'all gonna see him pop up on there because he popping up on my feed in his
straight
car with the tan
What's
gut,
up, Joe?
with the cream guts in there rolling around.
What's up, Joe?
I appreciate y'all for having me on here, bro.
Oh man, we appreciate you for coming sit down with us, man. We definitely gonna have you on for a part 2 because I feel like it's more that we need to share. We gonna do a little bit more research and get depth to some different situations or whatever the case may be. But thanks for coming out and supporting us, man.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? I think about that question. I think what a lot of people make a mistake on is they get too much attention. Like they get too much attention to the negative. Like the work is being done. You know what I mean? They expect like it's always gonna be like this. Always gonna be some problem that need to be corrected.
Most definitely.
Life ain't gonna be just completely peaceful. You got people out here. I'm one of the guys. You know what I mean? So I think people always talk about what somebody not doing, and don't be speaking about and concentrate on the people that's doing it. See, the reason I come down here because soon Bo hit me up on the phone, I come to support. We supporting each other.
Yes, sir.
We ain't having a conversation about the ones that's not supporting. You know why? Because that ain't none of our business.
Exactly.